Hello, everyone, everywhere. This is Bob Thibodeau with the Kingdom Crossroads podcast, and you are listening to the Going North podcast with my good friend Dom Brightman. Be sure to subscribe to his podcast so you will not miss any of the upcoming episodes, and be blessed in all that you do.
Today's episode is sponsored by the GoingNorthPodcast.com shop. And if you head over to the wonderful website, cop some merchandise, take a selfie with you rocking the gear, shoot it to yours truly, the host, Dom Brightman at gmail.com, and I will give you a shout out on the show as well, and heck, even tag you on social media as well. So feel free to check out some of the good old merch on GoingNorthPodcastShop.com. Now let's get on with some super special, awesome content. And today on the highlight reel builder for authors known as the Going North podcast, we got another super special, awesome human for you today, courtesy of my good buddy, the wonderful TM herself, the trademark Miss Transcendental Meditation, even though she's probably not a fan of that, Miss Tammy Matheny, because she's hooked me out with another super special, awesome guest, because the spider web just keeps expanding, because we got another John Gordon certified positive leadership trainer in the building. And not only that, today's guest in particular, just to add a little more sprinkles to the wonderful giant cupcake of awesome that he is, he's also a motivational speaker, a fellow leadership coach, as well as a certified athletic mental performance master. So let's give it up for the DM himself, the direct and motivational Dennis Mellen. How you doing today, Dennis?
Thanks, Dom. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm doing well. It's been a good day, and going to be even better tomorrow. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're looking for better and not butter, y'all. That's right. Yes, indeed. So, my goodness, man, as you know, with all introductions, they're not allowed to be 17.5 days long, and I probably forgot a whole boatload of stuff about you. So, mind filling in any cavities I may have missed about you?
Well, I'm a retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel, and I flew as an Alaska Airlines captain for 28 years. So, and I'm retired from that too. I've done a couple other different jobs, aviation related, and struck upon speaking and writing, and being a high school baseball coach now too. So we're right at the beginning of our season right now. So, although the weather hasn't been cooperating lately for us, so we're struggling trying to get games in.
You can say that again.
Yeah.
Spring is an illusion. Actually, better yet, seasons are an illusion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Global warming's like, ha, you didn't believe me 22 years ago. I got something for you.
Yeah. Well, it was almost 2 weeks ago, was supposed to be the start of spring. I don't think we've gotten above 45 in the last week. I don't know. I'd have to check. Yeah.
You'll love to see it. Well, thanks a bunch for your service, too, my man. That's freaking huge, especially in the Air Force, too. And I believe, what was it, 28 years, right?
No, that was at Alaska Airlines. Only 20 in the Air Force. I decided to get out after 20. That part of that was with the Air Force Reserves towards the end there. But yeah, that was a fun career. I flew KC-10 air refuelers with the Air Force, flying all over the world, some difficult missions, some weird places, and traveled all over the world, including out in the middle of the Indian Ocean to a little island out there. So been to Africa, one of the places I haven't been is to South America. So I'll have to put that on my bucket list, I guess.
Oh, heck yeah, man. Definitely, man. Like, all them places you traveled. You said weird places, so what's probably in the weirdest places of them all?
Well, I would have to probably say, well, I went into Mogadishu, Somalia way back when we had a presence there. I was only there for a few hours just to offload some cargo and get out of there, because at the time we weren't very well liked there. So.
Yeah, understandable. Not a lot of folks are fans of the US of A, but hey, that's on them.
Yeah, that's what I say. I mean, we were bringing them food. They were starving, and they still didn't like us. So that's the way it goes sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's right indeed. That's right indeed. And it probably goes north indeed. So my goodness. So with all of your travels, what do you think are the two major lessons you picked up from your travels?
Well, one is you never know, even if they speak English, if you're actually getting the same message across that you want to get across, or if you're receiving the right message, you know. And then the other thing is really how much in common we have with everybody. There's some really great people around, and it was good to meet good to meet them all. You know, uh, I enjoyed I enjoyed just going out to the different places and meeting the people that were there, maybe having a meal or a few drinks or a great conversation even, you know. It was always interesting.
Definitely say that again indeed. Yes indeed. Yes indeed. Yeah, because it's so true. And heck, even just having conversation with people on this podcast, it's like the more you converse with people, you just sit down and chat with, and realize, you know what, we have some similarities here. It's like, hey, we just
Yeah,
want to make a decent living, make a good living, like make a positive difference in the world, and do something good, and just hey, just live and enjoy our little slice of life. Some people want a bigger slice, but hey, that's a okay. We all still get slices of the pie together.
absolutely. And we, you know, be able to share it with each other too. That's always an important thing.
Oh yeah, that's right indeed. Barney was right, y'all. We got to share, y'all. That's right. That's right indeed. The purple dinosaur was right. That's right. You weren't under the influence. The dinosaur was purple. But hey, it's not about purple dinosaurs. It's about my man, the daring Dennis. So my goodness, you decided to really put pen to paper and join the business of immortality, which your awesome book takes more than hard man. So what was the inspiration behind the book, and what led you to finally hit the publish button and put it out there for the world to read?
Well, the inspiration was one day I'm up flying from Seattle to San Francisco of all places, and clear blue sky day, and I'm up over Eugene, Oregon, letting my mind drift a little bit. I'm looking down at the town and going, I wonder what those people are doing down there. And of course, I'm sure they were up there looking at the airplane, going, wonder what they're doing up there. But it was the pinnacle of my aviation career, really. It was still hard work. I was still enjoying it. You know, they say if you love your job, you never work a day of your life. I think my friends will claim I've never worked a day of my life anyway. But the very the very next day, I go out. I'd taken up mountain bike riding um, for recreational purposes. You can't imagine the thrill of climbing up some of the hills and mountains out east of Seattle, and then coasting down in between the trees, like kind of like you're slalom skiing at a ski resort in Colorado or something. And I went out one day to a trail, and the trail guide listed as "it's a bitch." And about halfway up that hill, I started feeling a little numbness in my arms, and next thing I know, I'm falling off the bike, clutching my chest. So the two hikers happened upon me. I was out cold. I don't remember any of this. They called 911, and the EMTs came up the same hill I just climbed up, loaded me up on a portable gurney, and took me off to the hospital. On the way to the hospital, about a half hour away, they had to shock me about 25 times and another 20 times in the ER. So, man, I'll tell you, I am so lucky to be here. Anyway, it took a while to realize that I was never going to get to fly again. And so I started through a series of jobs, mostly aviation related. And when the pandemic hit, people had always been talking, you should write a book about your experiences. I said, no, nobody wants to hear another, oh, here's a victim that lost his job or whatever. But when the pandemic hit, I sat down and started writing. And I wrote out a whole bunch of what I thought were pretty good thoughts and chapters and stuff. And I looked at it, and I had about 60 pages. I thought, well, how do I fill this in? And luckily I'd kept a journal. So I took the journal and I started going, hey, that'll fit here and that'll fit there. And next thing you know, I got about 160, 170 pages. And so I go to a publisher and got it published through a company out of Vancouver, British Columbia, of all places. Friesen Press. I'll give them a shout out there. They helped me through the publishing and through the advertising. And so here I am today, doing speeches on it, or doing motivational speeches, or giving workshops or training sessions for leaders, taking them back to some of the experiences I had in the Air Force and flying for the airline. So that's about where the last 10, 12 years have been, is kind of roaming around trying to find my new purpose. Because I'd always wanted to be a pilot since about 10 years old. And I was lucky enough to be able to find a career in it. So I didn't know what to do after that. So it took a while to find some meaning. So that's where I'm at right now. I feel like I'm giving back now. I'm trying to make a difference with everybody I bump into or meet or have dealings with. So long story short, or short story long, I don't know. Did we stretch that out too long?
Hey, it's all good. Don't worry about it. We encourage length around here, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I can go down a dark rabbit hole with that one, but I won't. But man, that hill name was amazing, though. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't have been more appropriate. I actually went back a few years ago to that hill and walked up it, just to say, I made it all the way up and all the way back without having any problems. It's kind of well, it was cathartic, let's say. It helped me to accept what's happened to me. So yeah.
It's like, yeah, revenge, baby.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So your dream was to become a pilot, and you made that dream manifest in real life. So for those maybe aspiring to be a pilot, heck, even because like what were probably the steps that you took to be able to get to that point?
Well, like I said, at 10 years old, I got the inspiration. I was probably, well, my father was in the Air Force. He's a retired chief master sergeant. And we lived in Germany, and we're outside the perimeter of the runway there one day. And here comes two F-4s screaming by in full afterburner. I mean, it's one of those things where you can just feel it in your lungs as they go by. And I'm 10 years old, pumping my fist up and down, saying, yeah, baby, that's what I want to do when I grow up. So I'm kind of lucky from that regard. I had a signalness, a purpose. I knew exactly what I wanted to do going through high school and after high school. So I worked my way up to the Air Force Academy, and at age 19 had my first flight, and I guess it's history from there. I just literally took off on a career.
There you go. The magical school indeed. Magical school indeed. That's what I'm talking about indeed. So my goodness. So basically taking flight physically and then taking flight in more ways than one, of writing a wonderful book, being one of the book boomers from 2020, as I've been calling
Yeah.
them anyway, since folks got the chance to write it. So my goodness, so now that you finally got this book finished and you got another book coming out, a multi-author book with some other super special, awesome humans, like what's next for you? What's next on the goals list for you?
Well, I'm working on a third book, and it's going to have to do with leadership again, connecting culture to the vision, and how the leadership of different companies deal with creating that, connecting the employees to that vision. When the employees have that connection, when they have a purpose, that's when you start getting that elite performance that a lot of companies have. So I've gone through a series of interviews with various CEOs. I've actually had some pretty good interviews with Brad Smith from the retired Intuit CEO, the guys that do TurboTax, and what's the other one? Quicken Books, I think. And then I actually got my old CEO from Alaska Airlines, Brad Tilden. But I also have a bunch of smaller companies that I've interviewed their CEOs. And what I'm finding is, except for the order of magnitude, they have all the same type of problems. They all have personnel problems, budget problems, forecasting, supplies, chains, all those things. And all it is a difference in magnitude, or whether they actually have a staff to help them with some of those problems. So it's been an interesting evolution. I think it's going to be a pretty powerful book. You never know. You have to see who's going to read it, and whether they feel like it's a page turner or not.
Heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about indeed. Definitely looking forward to that because it's actually interesting you say that because most folks would be like, oh my goodness, a bigger company means, man, you probably got more problems and whatnot than a smaller company. And it's like, well, it's just really the same issues. It's just say, just a smaller company, less people. You
Yeah,
still got
exactly.
personnel issues.
You may be the head of a small company of 5 or 10 people, and as the leader or the owner, you're the HR, you're the maintenance, you're the lawyer, you're the operations guy, you're everything, but you still have the same type of problems, and same type of requirements to motivate your employees, get them to feel like I get to come to work instead of I have to go to work, you know, and that's so important. Building those relationships where those people feel like they've got a purpose there.
Yeah, yeah, man, definitely, definitely. It's freaking true, man. It's so definitely needed nowadays for folks to really just get that information and just really just take it to heart and see how it can apply to their own lives. Because yeah, like the thing is, when you cast a vision, there's gonna be some people that are gonna catch on to it and help you out, and some that are just be like,
Right.
hey,
Yeah, yeah.
ah.
Yeah.
Oh man. So any other similarities you've seen from the big CEOs to the smaller CEOs?
Well, the ones that are the most successful are the ones that build those relationships with their people. The ones that, even at a large corporation, uh, the, the CEOs of really successful companies end up having those personalities that are larger than life. And when they go out and out on the shop floor or out where the people are working, people immediately recognize them and can identify with them and open up to them. There's a lot of things that having good relationships or a trusting relationship with your employees starts bringing uh, more data or more enthusiasm. Uh, and that's exactly what the book is about. Is how do you connect the culture of the place with the vision that you have for the place? And I think it comes from the most successful ones come from not because the president, the owner, the CEO says, this is our vision, this is our goal, but where everybody comes together and has an input to it that can buy into it and believe in it. And it's brought up on a daily basis where people understand that, we're not just doing software or building this car. We're making a difference in people's lives. We're making something larger than life. We're trying to build cars that will help with the environment. We're trying to make a difference with people's nutrition or whatever the company's vision is. So it comes from building the relationships and the trust that they have between each other.
Yep, solid right there. And it makes perfect sense too. Like really, like relationships are
Yeah, yeah,
everything as human beings. Like it's so true. Like that's really where true leadership flourishes is where you have really good, solid relationships where you can trust people as mentors and mentees and like even coaches and folks that are coaching you and also teammates. Like folks are filling in for your gaps and your weak points and just really just having all those mesh together. So that's solid, man. Definitely
yeah, yeah.
solid truth right there.
So So yeah, it all has to do with how you connect the people together. They have to, and then once you got them connected, they start caring about each other. They start caring more about the work, maybe, or they see where their own personal goals tie in with the company's goals. That's so important. And I think one of the things that's going on in business right now is they call it the great resignation. People are changing jobs. They're looking for that job that I had for 28 or 40 something years, where I didn't feel like I was going to work. I felt like I felt like I was doing something that I loved doing. It was just a joy to go up and fly and move people around, or move cargo around, or move air refuel airplanes to get them to the destinations and the bases and remote islands that they needed to get to. There was a real sense of accomplishment in that whole thing. And I think that's what people are looking for today. They want to feel connected with the company, and they want to feel like they're accomplishing, or that they have a real purpose.
Yeah, definitely can say that again, indeed. Definitely can say that again, indeed. So, my goodness, you've been on a bit of a podcast interview tour promoting your wonderful book and your wonderful work that you're doing to help out folks and organizations. Is there a question that you wish you'd be asked more often when you're on these wonderful interviews?
Well, yeah, I wish I got asked more often. I want to buy your book. Where can I get it? No, there's plenty of people. It is available on all the usual web pages like Amazon and Friesen Press, or going to my book web page is takesmorethanheart.com, and you can download, get to the places where you can download to Nook or the audio, if that's your preferred medium to participate in or read a book. Although I guess listening to it is not really reading, but I guess that's a new way of doing it. So yeah, takesmorethanheart.com is one place where you can find all the links to Amazon, Barnes and Noble. I forget who all has them. Basically it's on all the usual ones. And what I promise readers, if they go and give me a review on Amazon, I'll send them the stickers and crayons that go along with the book. No, I'm kidding. Totally kidding. Yeah.
There you go. It takes more than heart, y'all. That's right. You got to use your mind. Got to do that mindfulness coloring, y'all. The mindfulness coloring book. That's his fourth book that he ain't telling y'all about yet. That's right.
Yeah. No, actually, one of the things is my business is called Be a Bean. And by being a bean, what I'm implying is you're as a company, you're in this competitive environment, that roiling, boiling pot of water. And you're not going to change the roiling and boiling. There's always going to be events and challenges that come up, but you can't enter that water as a coffee bean and start changing that water into something that smells good and tastes good. Or what I like to say is you're changing your team from ordinary water into gourmet coffee with your leadership. So that web page is beabean.net. And I'll be able to talk to you about what my leadership training entails. I do executive one-on-one coaching, leadership team training, or I can tailor it to whatever your needs are. So I'm catering to executive leaders, C-suite members, CEOs, CFOs, those type of people that are looking for some sort of help, additional skills, always those ones that are always learning, that are trying to improve what they're doing, how they're leading, how they're inspiring. So that one's beabean.net.
Boom. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. That's a powerful statement right there, baby. That's a gem right there. Or should I say it's a coffee bean, y'all. That's right indeed. I probably need to put a link to the coffee bean book that John Gordon did. I think it was like 2020 or 2021 when they dropped it. Because when you drop that line, I'm like, man, like make your team some gourmet coffee, y'all, instead of being just some boiling water. Like, you know how freaking awesome that is. You know how people love coffee and are addicted to coffee? Like, my man Dennis is going to make your company be an addiction for people in a good way, y'all. That's right. People are going to want to come to you and your company for business once you bring this man into your business, y'all. So I'm telling you, that's right indeed. So if you want to be the best cup of Joe in all the mugs, call on Dennis, y'all. That's right. Call on Dennis. That's right indeed. So since you want folks to buy the book, a fun question I've been asking these wonderful guests is that is, if your wonderful book takes more than heart was a food, what would it be and why?
Oh, it'd have to be a coffee bean. It'd have to be a coffee bean. The whole purpose of the book is to help people that have either suffered a life-changing health event or a business failure, or any of the athletes that have had season-ending or career-ending injuries. How do you recover from that? And one of the central themes of it is a Japanese adage that talks about falling down 7 times and getting up 8. Just keep plugging away. You've got to find that next challenge and turn it into an opportunity. So that's where it takes more than heart to recover from some of these things. You know?
There you go. That was a layup right there. Most folks usually have trouble with that question. They'd be like, the hell, Don, where'd you get that kind of question from? But my man's like, yeah, it's right in front of me this whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. My goodness, my goodness. Well, we're coming down to the magical question that every guest gets to receive, and that is if you're to wake up tomorrow and you're 25 again, but you're still in 2022 with all of your knowledge and experience, what advice would you give to yourself?
I think it's the same advice that has taken me the last 10 or 12 years to figure out. It's failure is a shortcut to success. So go out and do things. And if you fail, don't think of it as a failure. Think of it as what did I learn from it? And how can I move on from here to be better? So, fall down 7 times, get up 8 times. I think that's what I'd pass on to myself. And I don't have any regrets. I've enjoyed. I've had ups and downs in my life, but I've enjoyed it. It's been a challenge.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But it's definitely been rewarding indeed. So, my goodness. My goodness, my goodness. It's probably going to be a trend. So, my goodness. So, since failure is the quickest way to success, what's probably been one of your biggest quote unquote failures in life that actually became one of your biggest successes?
Well, I hands down, it's got to be the life changing event, the heart attack. Here I am at age 56, at the peak of my career one day, and then the very next day, I'm being told I'll never fly again. And it's kind of like I lived an inverted life. 18-year-olds, when they graduate from high school, or in that last year, their senior year, a lot of them are still scratching their head. What am I going to do? Am I going to go work? Am I going to go to college? Am I going to start a family? All those things. Well, I had a singleness of purpose up until age 56. And then all of a sudden, I'm in the same boat as the 18-year-old. Now, what do I do? And I've got the additional thing of I don't have 50 or 60 years that I'm looking out for. Well, maybe I'll last till I'm 150. I don't know. But the thing of it is starting over at age 56. That can be daunting. That can be daunting for sure. And it took a little while. I won't say that it was easy the first year, couple of years. There was a lot of time spent on Indeed, LinkedIn, and Glassdoor trying to find my next career. And I went several different directions, but thank goodness I stumbled upon something that I can pass on to people some way where they don't have to go to the University of Hard Knocks like I did to learn most of my lessons. I want to be able to pass that on to people.
Yes, indeed, that's right. Passing on like a blunt, y'all. That's right. Indeed, that's right. Indeed. So, my goodness, for those who need to go to your marvelous site, buy some copies of your book, share with their friends, and pass on the good word of what my man Dennis is doing, what's the best way for folks to do so?
Yeah, that's probably the easiest way is ordering it on Amazon or Barnes and Noble. Those are the two big ones that seem to be selling most of my books. So
Well, there you have it, folks. There you have it. That's right. Check out all that wonderful stuff in the show notes, indeed, and tell your friends about it. Indeed, that it takes more than heart, y'all. That's right, indeed. It's going to want all of you, y'all. That's right. It's going to want all of you. It's like a humpback whale. It's going to want all of you. That's right. It's going to want all of it. Oh, man. So, any parting words before we close up shop, Dennis?
no, I just want to thank you, Dom, for having me on. You've been very gracious host and asked some pointed questions, and a couple of them that I hadn't thought of before. And I think your listeners will enjoy listening to your podcast.
How's it going, my friend? I'm glad you made it to the end. That shows that you really enjoyed what you heard and you are an uncommon finisher. Thanks for giving this show a listen. If you really want to help out the show, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this with someone that you care about or someone that needs to hear this message, because we want to spread this podcast around like butter on bread, if that's your type of thing. And if it's not your type of thing, still spread it around anyway, because good stuff needs to be shared with good people like yourself.